Hello, and welcome back to another episode of r/EntitledParents. Just before we get into the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell in the corner to be notified of all future uploads. Let's get into these entitled parents. I'm calling the cops, you assaulted my son. But we're in a boxing match. So, little bit of backstory. I'm a pretty young boxer, and have had a few fights so far. Now for those who don't know, you want your mom's support, but you do not want her in your actual corner. I trained my ass off for these fights, so obviously no amount of money could make me throw them. Fast forward to the match. EM is entitled mom, B is her son, and me is me. The bell rings, and he has refused to touch my gloves, so already I'm thinking, I want to destroy this person. A minute into the first, I drop him, with a left hook to the liver. His mom is screaming, at the top of her lungs too. Kill him, knock his effing head off. I can already tell that EM is an entitled parent, so I smirk and wait for B to get to his feet. The round resumes and he's swinging wildly, only to be dodged and countered. Same shot, same spot, on the liver. And I throw one powerful overhand right shot. He drops flat out cold and EM was pissed. As the ref raises my hand, she's screaming at me, saying her son deserved to win. I walked out of the ring, and while I was walking away, the EM and B came up to me. EM, you assaulted my son. I'm going to have you arrested. Me, I don't know what to say. You were here watching. This is called boxing. The EM actually goes to slap me, and I grab her hand. She screamed rape, and B stepped in front of me. He stared at me before trying to swing back. Keep in mind, I literally just knocked this idiot unconscious. I slip and counter with a, you guessed it, liver shot. He drops and I push EM out of my way and went home and celebrated the win with my trainer, my team and my family. I look back at this and laugh, but honestly, how dumb could you be? Boxing is a combat sport. I think that should be obvious to everyone. But I guess there's no limit when it comes to entitled parents. Nice dog. How much? Currently, my wife is transitioning from a social worker to a dog trainer in the hopes of training assistance/companion animals for people with a need. As someone who suffers from anxiety herself, she knows how good a trained assistance dog can be in stressful situations. This story takes place at an off-leash dog beach close to where I live. My DW has just finished work and has decided to take our dog, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, to the local off-leash beach for an impromptu training session/playtime. On arrival, she moves to a relatively quiet section of the beach and starts running the dog through some drop stays and recalls, and other things that are good to reinforce in a high distraction environment, with lots of other off-leash dogs and people around. After maybe 10 minutes, she releases the pup to have a run and play with the other dogs, and sits down on the beach to watch him play, occasionally recalling him to reinforce the behaviour before letting him explore and play again. As she is sitting there watching, she is approached by a father who is with a couple of kids, which isn't odd for this particular off-leash area, as it isn't too far from the main beach. The conversation goes as follows. EF for entitled father, W for wife. EF, that is an amazingly well-trained dog you have there. W, thanks, I'm actually a dog trainer, but it helps that he loves to learn. EF, I'm not usually a fan of smaller dogs, but this one seems pretty smart. W, yeah, well it's taken a while to get him there, but he's doing great. They both watch him play for a minute or so and make more small talk. My wife's still recalling him every so often. EF, how is he with kids? W, oh, he loves them. He loves any attention, but he really loves playing with children. EF nods, watching his kids play with the dog. EF, how much would you want for him? W laughs, thinking he is joking. Some days I'd rehome him for free, but seriously, I couldn't live without him. EF laughs. No, but seriously, how much? I've never seen a small dog that I like as much as him. W laughs again, nervously this time. Honestly, I could never part with him. EF, you're a dog trainer though. You could always train yourself another dog. W, starting to get worried now. Or you could get a dog and bring him along to our training centers and we could help you train him? EF, but I really like your dog, and I don't generally like small dogs, and he's already trained, so come on, don't be unreasonable. How much for him? I can get you the cash within the hour. W, getting up as she is feeling uncomfortable. He is not for sale, please stop asking. EF, come on please, look how much my kids like him, gesturing to his kids, playing with a pack of assorted dogs, including ours. EF, I'll pay you. I'll give you more than he is worth. W, for the last time, no, I am not selling you my dog. Now please leave me alone. She starts to move towards the car park and calls the dog to put him on his leash so she can leave. At the beach, EF tries to grab him by the collar, misses spectacularly and gets a face full of sand. W gets him back on the leash and gets to the car park before having a small panic attack standing at the back of her car. A couple of the regulars see her and calm her down, and she tells them the story. But by then EF and his kids have gone. We go back a few days later together, and there is a printed notice on the beach entrance asking people to be vigilant as a man was sighted trying to take people's dogs. I cannot fire guests. This happened a couple of years ago, and I think below is a good remembrance of the event. There probably was more cursing from the lady in question, which wasn't appropriate in a family restaurant, let alone in front of her kids. There's a chain restaurant located next to a strip mall less than 5 minutes away from where I work. I'm often in there, either by myself or with colleagues. And I've had a few I don't work here moments. It's usually been from folks wanting to compliment either the food or the servers. I think it comes from being dressed in business casual and usually having a quick chat to some of the servers in the dining area as I head to the bar area. I'll tell them politely I'm not a manager here, but he/she is, and send them off in the right direction. This particular day, I had called into work on a day off and decided to stop for lunch. I was in jeans and a dark blue polo shirt. I spoke briefly to one of the servers and slipped into a stool at the bar. The bar area was pretty quiet, so my beer and food order was taken in a matter of moments. As usual, I got the lunchtime special, unlimited soup and a salad with an entree, and being a regular, there was no need to consult the menu. My order placed and a tall glass of suds in under a minute. The soup and salad station is located to the rear of the restaurant, and you have to walk through the restaurant area to get there. At lunchtime, there's normally only one section of the dining area open, so the easiest path is through the unused one as it's empty. I do what I normally do, head down, get my salad, and go back for the soup. I didn't hear anything as I went down to the salad bar, but I remember hearing a "Excuse me?" as I was returning with my bowl. I set that down and head back for my soup. Again, I hear an "Excuse me?" but I'm not thinking it's addressed to me. I get my soup and bread and head back to the bar. I see a head of a woman rise up from the table that's in the third section. I think it's only used when they're really busy or need seating for larger parties, and step into my path. I move to one side, thinking she's on her way to the salad bar, but she's checking my every move as if she's going in for a tackle. I'm within a few steps of her. She's got a face like she's been chewing a bunch of bees. "What the hell is your problem?" she spits at me. I'm confused. It's my turn to say, "Excuse me. I've been trying to get your attention for over 10 effing minutes." That would have been pretty hard since I'd probably been there less than 5. "What?" I say out of confusion. "I know you're ignoring me on purpose. I know your problem. You see a single mom with 2 kids and don't want to bother because you'll no tip." I try to utter those famous words, but she's on a roll. "I've been there for over 10 minutes and none of you effing lazy ass monkeys have even came over and given us silverware or even offered us drinks. And you effing ignore me on effing purpose and don't say you didn't hear me because I saw you turn your head away from me." As she's taking in more air, I say, "Look, I don't work here." And she's back. "Don't give me that bullshit. You just decide to put on the uniform and serve people food. I'm going to have your effing job for this. Who's in charge around here?" At that moment, the deputy manager appears, addressing me by my name, and asks what the problem is. And before I can speak, she's off again, wearing a fake shit-eating grin. "Well, you don't work here, yet your boss knows your name." She turns to the manager. "This jerk-off here has treated me like shit. He's been rude and ignored me over a dozen times. Thinks because I'm a single mom, I'm not worth his time. Probably the same as the rest of you monkeys. I am a paying customer of your effing joke of a restaurant and your staff have left me and my kids sitting here without even a hi. You need to fire that jerk there, and I expect you to take better care of me and my kids. I am not paying for anything after the way I have been treated. I want both of your names, as well as I'm going to make sure that your big bosses know what is going on here. And if you don't fire that asshole right now, I'm going to make sure that they do. And they will probably fire your sorry ass too." "Okay, ma'am," says the manager. "Here's my card," and hands her his business card. She looks to me. "Your name?" she says in a way that asshole is silent. She doesn't have a pen, but the manager hands her one. Of course, she asks me to spell it out, savoring each letter. I have to do my job here, ma'am, and I need to establish facts. And could you please watch the color of your language? Let's start at where you're sitting. She points back to one of the large tables where 2 kids around 8 to 10 are sitting. "We haven't even been given drinks or silverware yet, and he cuts her off. "If I'm to sort this out, I need to speak to the person who sat you there and find out why you aren't assigned a server." "What you need to be doing," she says in a sing-song voice, "is firing this jerk." "Ma'am, please, work on this with me. I'm trying to establish fact for your complaint." "Bullshit, I know effing well what you're doing. You're trying to save your ass and probably his too. I want to see this asshole fired in front of everyone here, so you can't—" "Please, ma'am, could you stop using profanity? There are families in here," says the manager. I noticed that the regular noise of the restaurant is not at its usual level. I look over to the actual dining area, and we certainly have most of its attention. She points at me and starts to speak. "Are you going to—" The manager holds up a hand. "Ma'am, please, understand this one thing. I cannot fire guests." That just pissed her off even more. "What kind of shit are you trying to pull here? This prick is wearing your restaurant's uniform and running around with food in his hands. Is this what you—" The manager has had enough. Ma'am, please stop. Stop, ma'am. Will you please take a good look at the gentleman? She looks at me. The manager goes on. He's wearing a blue shirt and jeans. Our uniform is a black shirt with our logo and black pants. And you'll notice he is not wearing an apron, which all of our servers wear while on duty. And if you take a good look down to the end of the restaurant, you'll see where the self-serve bar is. That is why this gentleman is carrying what is probably now cold soup. She's staring at me, looking me up and down and then looking around, probably trying to see if what she's hearing is true. There's a lot I can and can't do for guests. As I said, it is not my power to fire them. I can make them leave if they are disrupting other guests or staff or causing problems for this restaurant. You fall into the latter. I think she's about to speak again, but the manager gets in first. I can also call the police to assist me, so I may suggest that you gather up your kids and leave. If you do wish to take this further, the website address is on my card, and you will find all of our corporate contact information. The exit is this way. I wait until they are out of my path and return to the bar, and I get a few questions on what happened. I answered them the same way. She thought I worked here. The manager had came to see me once he had seen her drive out of their lot, and apologised for not being there sooner. I was in the cooler and didn't get the code Karen over the radio. He said he'd have to write a report about the incident and asked if I would give my contact details, which I did. I did tell him that there was no need to do that on my account, but he said it was policy to do so. The lady did contact corporate, as I got a phone call from some lady asking to give my version of the events, although I have no idea what tale she told them, or even if they took any action against her. The restaurant sent in a report along with CCTV that recorded the incident, and about 2 weeks later, I got a letter from corporate thanking me for my cooperation, and a $50 gift card. Okay guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!